Just woke up, feeding the animals, and now it's time to do this. This is interesting, and I may actually do a full video on this a little bit later, but I thought I'd just do a little primer on it first. This is a very interesting story that happened on Valentine's Day. But first things first, make sure you read the pinned comment below. TheSoftSpokenShaman@gmail.com is the place to hit me up if you'd like to check out my books where I write about stuff like this and obviously how to avoid these situations because you might think it's easy to avoid these situations until you find yourself in this trap and then you're going down the drain and you don't know how to get out. And also, you can email me there if you'd like to hop on my Discord server. My Discord server is a growing community that I want to have outside of YouTube. And it's pretty cool. You should join. Check it out. Anyways, the story. So this happened on Valentine's Day in February. Taylor Meyer, 34-year-old man, was setting up a Valentine's Day date for his wife. The first mistake is Taylor's 34 years old and his wife was 36. Yeah, Taylor, you kind of messed up with the math on that one, buddy. You know, not trying to be a hater here, but typically that doesn't work when they're older than you. Not saying it always doesn't work, but usually it doesn't. Anyways, he thought he had suspicions that his wife was cheating on him, you know, with a coworker of hers. And, he had gone through her phone previously and she was very unhappy about it. And he had found evidence, apparently. So he decided to make an Eiffel Tower themed, Paris themed Valentine's Day date to try to woo his wife back, who he felt was slipping away from him. And they had 3 kids also. So what he did is he ordered her a dress. He made her dinner, I believe, and he made like a handmade card, professing his love to his wife and had the children, write and draw on that too. Anyways, on Valentine's Day, she's not having it. She's not interested in the date he planned. He can tell that she's flustered and she thinks he's a lame, pretty much. And so he gets pissed. He straddles her, gets the phone from her while she's reaching for it, and he sees communications between her and her alleged boyfriend. He gets pissed. And she darts out of the house. She's gone for about 20 minutes, and he believes it's to meet the boyfriend. When she gets back, he accosts her, and I guess she has some things to say to him. So he produces a long, sharp object and introduces it to her chest over 40 times, And before this, the woman was like, "What are you going to do? You gonna unalive me and make it so our children don't have any parents anymore?" And that's just what he did. When Taylor was done, he sent a text message to the apparent lover, his wife's lover, saying, "Your fault," with a picture of her body with a lot of tomato sauce around her body, so to speak. Oh, wow. So eventually, of course, he called the cops on himself. He messed up, so, might as well. The cherry on top is self-snitch. And he called the cops on himself, and he got arrested. And then the funny thing is now he claims he entered a plea of not guilty. So, of course, he was not released on his own recognizance. He's going to be in jail awaiting his jury trial, whenever the hell that's going to happen. This guy messed up. How'd he mess up? Well, in Buddhism, and many, not really too much in the West, we don't talk about this, but in the East, they talk about, attachment, being the root of desire. Well, the problem with being attached is that when the attachment starts wavering, you start clinging. And clinging is not the root of desire, but clinging is the side effect. And clinging is what causes you to become desperate. And so when you feel like you're losing the object of your attraction and affection, and if you can't re-grasp it, then you're going to destroy it. And that's exactly what he did with his wife. See, the thing is, if you're a man, you got to understand that you never know if this is going to happen to you or not, but it probably will. The woman who claims that she loves you, the husband claims that even on Valentine's Day, they dance to their wedding song. So they dance to their wedding song, and then he ends up plunging a serrated object into her 40 times. When you're losing the object of your affection, you have to learn to let it go. You can't change the direction of the ship, and you have to be okay with it. You have to learn how to quell your emotions for the moment and process them later. But make sure you don't do anything that's going to alter the course of your life and her life forever. This is where so many guys mess up. You're losing her. Bruh, you can't do anything about it. You have to let her go. And there always is a potential that she will come back after she's ran around the streets for a little bit. Doesn't mean you have to take her back. But the worst thing and the hardest thing for a man to realize is, okay, she's getting out of my hands like grains of sand. I can't grasp for it. I have to let it go. I have to let it go. And I have to be okay with it. And I have to either be okay being alone, raising these kids by myself, or going for custody, or I have to go search out a new woman now, if that's the game I'd like to play again. Because all of these situations where a death happens and it didn't need to happen, it's because of clinging and grasping. Clinging and grasping. When you're clinging and you're clinging and you're clinging and it's falling through your fingers, through the slats of your fingers, you're going to try to grasp even harder. And well, that's where asphyxiation happens, figuratively speaking, you know? So it's just bad news. And this guy's life is ruined. He's 34 years old. His wife, who's 36, she's not alive now, you know? So nobody wins. I mean, I'm sure, you know, it's like I was talking about in my stream the other day. People who jump off a bridge, oh, they want to go through with it. But once they jump, there's immediate regret. I assume, if I had to take a guess, when he plunged that serrated object in for the first time, he probably felt immense relief. Immense relief. But after he was done, that immediately the remorse and the regret kicks in. Because when you see that tomato juice surrounding her body, there's no way that you can get it all back up and put it back in her body. The damage has been done. And so you can't allow your clinging and your grasping to allow you to create damage that can't be undone, which is what he did in this case. So it's an important case to talk about because it shows you in the blink of an eye, your life can absolutely be destroyed because you can't get a grip on your addiction, which is your woman, who's not your woman. She's obviously, you know, it's his turn, and his turn was over. It doesn't matter if you're married or not, you know. I mean, your turn might be your whole life potentially, but it might not be.